Nigeria is hosting the Airports Council International Conference, a week-long event getting started as we speak. So let's get a bit of a sense of when we talk about infrastructure relating to airports, whether it's runway, the terminals, the whatever you call it, the car parks and everything. It's a very serious business, one of the biggest industries across the African continent. And when you discuss Africa, Nigeria is a big boy and a market not to ignore. Let's get Vincent Nwani, who is the Director in charge of Advocacy and Research at Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and is someone who the issue of seaports, airports, aviation, infrastructure is very dear to his mind. Good morning. It's good to have you here.
How do you know who is dear to my mind?
We've had weeks and months and years of discussing this, and it's very good to find folks who focus on this very important part, because if you have the gateway to the sea and to the air, then you command the global economy. When you have your ships moving and your planes moving commercial, cargo, human traffic, that is big business.
Sure.
So we'll put the seaport out of it today, and we'll focus on airports. Nigeria is hosting this very important event, continental and around the world. That's a big plus for Nigeria, isn't it?
It is. It is. You know, this is an international organization covering virtually the whole world, about 160 countries, you know, that try to ensure that airports are working and working well. You know, about 40 African countries are members of this.
47.
57?
Yeah, 47.
47, yeah, African countries are, you know. So they are meeting right now in our country, in Lagos, Nigeria, and we're happy it's a week-long event to articulate how to act. And it flows into the federal government ease of doing business initiative.
Yes, the executive order,
exactly.
The first 1, 2, and 3 focus a little bit more on aviation, airports, whether it is immigration. The vice president paid an unscheduled visit, I remember, a few months ago to the airport, and he wasn't really happy with what he saw. But this particular conference is about business transformation for sustainable development. Many African countries are looking to remove airports management from the hands of the government and put it in the hands of you folks, the private sector. That sounds like music to your ears.
Well, it's not music because it's been done across the country. You know, even big airports in the world, the Heathrow airports, you know, we know it's not in the hands of UK
British government.
Yes, you know, and this is an airport that commands. In fact, the top 10 airports in the world that command traffic. The one another airport in Tokyo, Japan. The Hartsfield Jackson Airport, I think somewhere somewhere in Chicago.
In Chicago,
the JF Kennedy Airport in New York. You know, most of these airports are in private hands, so our own cannot be different. And good news is that federal government some months ago came up with that initiative. You know, they bought into the idea at least that the two biggest airports in Nigeria, or the busiest airport in Nigeria, Lagos and Abuja Airport, should be tested for private operation, and that is a good news.
We've done. We've done a lot of talk.
Exactly.
Now we need to act.
We need to act. This was also done in the port. There was a time the port was concessioned to private hands. The terminal. So this is being replicated here. And what we're saying is that the lessons we learned, both positive and negative lessons we learned, taking the marine ports to terminals to private hands should be implemented for the as we hope to privatize the
Why is
airports.
that of the airport or aviation a little bit difficult to implement in terms of concession?
I'm not sure it's difficult. We in the private sector, right now, we are waiting for the guideline for the privatization or for the concession. You know, guideline, we want to see a concession arrangement that we even have. There's a regulator. Right now, there's a regulatory issue in the maritime port. These are lessons. We want to see international best practice put in place. You know, there are companies, organizations, which, of course, they don't pay me to mention their name, that are known for airport management. We want them to also take part in Nigeria, in the Nigerian management.
But if you look at the structure of the Nigerian aviation industry, we have a regulator in place. We have FAN, we have NCAA, we have NAMR, and the rest. So do you think we have the structures in place to go full blast with this privatization or commercialization, partial commercialization, if at all?
Right now, we don't have the structure. Laws still need to be passed. You know, when we go into privatization of the airport, there is need for legal and regulatory foundation to be laid. That is still absent as we speak. You know, and these are some of the agendas we're setting for the conference. I think it's the Airport Council International.
Yes,
you know, as they are meeting, because we need to fix Nigeria. We need to fix Africa. You know, everywhere in the world, you see non-aeronautic fees or income of airports. That is fees that are not coming from passenger or the plane, contributes about 80% of income. In Nigeria, our own is reversed, 20%, and these fees are included car park fees, restaurants, shops, and all of those. The airport have to be, the electropolis model of airport, we need to look at that. A situation where non-aeronautic
parking spaces, landing fees, and things like that. It's not the bulk of the income, but in terms of the supermarkets.
Exactly, and especially now that Africa is now talking about open air policy, where the restriction on where to go and whatever is being reduced or eliminated. We need to actually take advantage of this open air policy by ensuring that our airports are efficient, the structure and infrastructure.
You've traveled through at least 2 of the major Nigeria international airports. That I am sure about. I haven't seen your passport really, but I don't know where you went last time. But if you look at the size, the design and whatever of the stores that we have in our 2 major airports, do we have any real global brands there?
It's not particularly impressive, and the viewers can attest to this. Even when you visit some smaller African countries and compare them when you come into our own airports, you don't feel particularly very impressive. No, so something needs to be done. The layout, the beauty, the equipments are obsolete, and that is where private investment come in. We want to see a new concessionaires that have that pulse and willingness and expertise to expand our infrastructure and renew the ones we already have. You know, we want to see new owners, private owners, to do things the way it's being done outside the country. You know, the hangars, the rollers, the trolleys, and all of those things need to work. New airport terminal, of course, good enough. I'm aware that new multi-story park, car park is being developed or almost completed or launched at the MMA International. These are the things we want to see, and we want to see it expanded, because Lagos is a big economy, maybe 50th economy in Africa, but commanding about 3 million air travelers a year is really
so we want to see a few things in there. This summit is focusing on business models.
Yeah.
What model do you think fits Nigeria? FAN is the big boy within this space in Nigeria. Do you think FAN will let go? I remember the last time the issue of concession or privatization was mentioned. Some staffers of FAN went on some protests, say no.
We have privatized so many sectors in Nigeria. I spoke about the marine sector now. Something happened to the port, power sector was privatized. There were labor issues. So we believe that whenever you want to privatize, let go government management to private management, this issue of staffing, labor issues, and we've passed through this in different sectors. And that is why I say, let's bring our experience, both positive and negative experience, to bear this time, to be able to deal with labor issue, to be able to deal with selecting the capable professional hands to run our airport this time, to be able to deal with the new concessionaire that is willing and also rich enough to invest in our airport and bring in international best practices